All right, I want to thank everyone for joining us on Friday, February 20th for our Legacy Lifestyle update call. And at the end, we will do the Friday paid for drawing, which is always exciting. We'll be drawing for two $100 contracts of your choice again today. But just going to kind of go through kind of some updates with the Legacy Lifestyle, where things are at. Moving forward, some exciting updates along with next week, we should have the new PowerPoint up and running. So if this is the first time you've listened to this, or if you listened to it before, I'd recommend kind of perusing through this site. You can see at the starting point here, we're really starting to help people focus on that path and keep it very simple in the beginning. Kind of explains, hey, no recruiting required, use your phone to grow your assets, but we have the 4-level legacy path. In the beginning, we want everybody to focus on level one. Level one, let's keep it simple. Let's grow as a community, because getting to that 20,000 goal in level one as a community unlocks everything else for you, for your family and friends moving forward. So when we get here now, you can see how it's kind of the 10 by 10 strategy is now we're only going to use that for level one. So level one, that's our foundation. That's where we'll be using the 10 by 10 strategy with our Lumex digital asset, as well as our Polar Tensor. And the whole community goal is growing this as a community with that 10 by 10 strategy. Get yourself to that 20,000 V1 goal, because when you hit that goal, that unlocks that on average $1,500 that people are making extra now a month. So the whole goal is, how do we work together as a community to get you to that goal? Now you have extra earnings to be able to put more in Lumex if you'd like, more in Polar Tensor, more in our level 2 and level 3 digital assets, and then as well as investing in your longevity, travel, and giving back more in level 4. So you're going to see a little bit of changes probably here over the next week or so, but the whole focus is going to be here. We don't want people, unless you have crypto knowledge and you're very advanced in crypto, we really don't want you moving past level one until you're ready. By doing that, we're focused, we work together as a community. And the exciting part with our first, the 1A Lumex, that strategy, what's very exciting about that is that 20,000 goal. When you watch that, that's that little graph in your community management in your back office. Every week, if we're working together, that should slowly keep growing closer to that 20,000. And once you hit that, like I said, it starts unlocking everything else. And we're seeing people right now that are going towards that. If you're somebody that wants to grow, hold on one second, because there is somebody that just came on that is not muted. Mute, please, if you just came on. If you're somebody that wants to grow faster than just waiting for the community, reminder, on Mondays, we do have our accelerator group, our accelerator collective group that you can join. You just got to go and apply. But after level one, once you unlock everything, now you've unlocked the Legacy Accelerator, which gets you into level 2, which is the DeFi Banking Accelerator, level 3, which is the digital asset ownership, and then level 4, which is Legacy Freedom, which will hopefully be live early next week. We're going to be give some people a sneak peek at some of the longevity solutions we'll have that will help you live longer. So the whole concept is we use level 1 to unlock level 2, 3, and 4, because it will give you the revenue to live life with your family and friends, if you so choose. So that's kind of the starting point tab. And then if you can see the block reservation tab, this is where somebody says, hey, I like this, I want to move forward, what do I do? Well, you start at level 1. That is where the 10 by 10 block strategy starts. And then how it works, you get the setup guide. You can see the new request forms. We know how much that person wants to start, so we can better assist them on getting started. Each request form has the exact same thing. Same concept, just request their spot. And so then after that, you can see, again, very important here, we don't unlock the Legacy Accelerator. That's only for advanced crypto members or people that hit that 20,000 goal. So we feel like if there's focus in the beginning, the community is going to grow stronger and stronger, because once you hit that 20,000 goal, you don't stop there, then it's 50 and 100. But as you accumulate more and more as a community, you're going to have more earnings monthly to be able to help yourself, you'll help family and friends, or pay it forward to those in need. That's really what we're building towards here with the Legacy Lifestyle. So with that, you got the 10 by 10 block strategy. We've talked about that. If you want to learn more, here is the new one. A lot of you maybe have not seen yet. I'm very excited to announce our financial freedom strategy. So we have 15 different strategies that we teach people to focus on one. So this is a great way to prospect for others, but for yourself, hey, you know what? Maybe you want to eliminate a membership. Maybe, many people around the world have monthly memberships. So whether it might be a fitness membership, whether it might be a recurring lifestyle product that you're taking every single month, maybe it's $100, $200, $500, whatever that number is, focus on that maybe first and say, okay, hey, I'm going to put in $100 or more, just to give an example, on a $100 strategy. If you manually compound that with our strategy, $100 manually compounding every time you get 100 would be 2,000 in 360 days. Well, what does that mean? At 1%, 2,000, that's $20 a day, which is $600 a month. You now just showed somebody how to potentially cover a $600 or less membership. Well, hey, Dan, what if somebody's got $1,000 in memberships? Well, then you would tell them to put in 200. That's going to turn into 4,000, which would be $40 a month, which would give them 1,600. So again, you just have to do the math, but whatever their goal is, at least start them with 100. They're going to see how that compounds over time. And just off the personal earnings, they could potentially cover that. But then when you add the community earnings and getting that level, that 20,000 in volume level with the 10 by 10 strategy, that unlocks everything, because that would be an extra $1,500 a month on top of your personal earnings, which could really start expanding that legacy lifestyle. And then what we're seeing is when somebody starts with 100, they see those returns. Now they put in a couple hundred more. Or maybe they're part of the Velocity Bank network, which a lot of people are going to have extra funds and rewards here very soon. Then all of a sudden those people start putting there, that which accelerates your time to get to that 20,000 goal. So just exciting. Now, membership, that's what I tell a lot of people to start on, because most people have some type of membership, but maybe you're talking to somebody that wants to just cover their gas and groceries. Maybe you're talking to somebody that has a car payment that they'd love to eliminate. But what I'm teaching you is don't have them do a bunch of different strategies at once. We have 15 different strategies. Say, hey, which one sticks out to you the most? And that's the one you focus on. What if I could show you how by just putting in $100 and manually compounding that over time could get you to $2,000 a month? And if you don't want to explain it, just have them pull up the illustration. Every tab has the illustration, which you can show them to just say, hey, just off your individual growth, this is how this would work. You put in 100 at 100 days, you have an accumulated profit of 100, you buy another $100 contract. Now you're at 200. Now it's going to take you 50 days to get 100. When you do that, you just keep doing it. And that time frame keeps going down. And pretty soon, by the end of 360 days, you're going to have that 2,000 that we talked about. But they got to follow the directions. And then at 2,000 at 1% a day, you can see it says right here, that'd be about $600 every 30 days. So most people, I talked to a friend the other day, he had a monthly supplement cost of 120. I said, hey, what if I could show you how to cover that cost? And I showed him, and now next week he's going to be registering. So most people, when they're paying that every month, I think most people, when they understand this, if we present it the right way, would invest $100 or put $100 in to potentially see if that could work for them. But the most exciting part of this, that's just the way to get them in, is when they start seeing the community revenue. The community revenue is really the big one, the 10 by 10 strategy, because you're going to have people come in and, for example, just think about it. If somebody comes in and they're placed in your 10 by 10 strategy, and let's say that person, because we've had this, let's say that person puts in $1,000. Well, that person is getting 1% of their money, which would be $10 a day. If they're front line and front block to you, you're getting 10% of that. So all of a sudden you're making $1 a day, and it just keeps growing. And so that's the value of the 10 by 10 strategy, is as the community grows around you, your earnings are going to continue to go, which is going to help you get to those $100 contracts faster, which is going to increase your compounding. And then your daily earnings are going to continue to grow. And the beauty of this is it's not some auto ship or anything like that, is your volume should keep growing week over week. Once you get a handful, maybe not in the beginning, maybe you don't have anybody in your block yet, but once you get a handful of people or more, it's going to start growing towards that week over week, which then gets very exciting. And then when you start sharing your results with others, it's very easy to grow that. So that's really the dual growth structure that we have, your individual earnings plus the community blocks. But when you go in here, it's focusing with what membership is going to be attractive to them. Then you got lifestyle and experiences. Well, maybe somebody likes to travel all the time. What if you could show them how they could travel more? Maybe you got people that have pets. People love their pets. People love to spend more money on their pets than they do themselves sometimes. Well, what if you could show them how to cover their pet food, cover their vet visits, cover their doggy hotels on the weekends? Lots of people play sports. I know lots of people. Sports is expensive. Not only do you have the cost of sports, you have the supplements and the other things and the trainings and all the things that cost to help the athletes get better. Well, we have a solution for that. What if we could show you how to put in $100 and watch that grow over time, that potentially in the next 360 days or less, we might show you how to cost those sports. And what I love about that one is when you're talking about youth sports, there's a lot of families that can't maybe afford, their kids go to college, they can't afford to go on the road, especially if that kid's good and they're in a different state. And now that family it's that burden of being like, wow, I can't afford to go every single weekend. But what if you could? What if right now I have a fourth grader that's 9 years old? What if I could start doing this now, that by the time he's a senior in high school, I have the revenue that I can go to every away game, every whole game. Those are the experiences you never forget. And that's really what the Legacy Lifestyle is built on, is how can we create experiences? How can we create experiences that maybe you get to travel more with those that you love? Because those are the things you're never gonna forget. And that's what we're trying to create with the Legacy Lifestyle. And then maybe somebody needs to pay for college or private school. Maybe somebody owns a home and wants to accelerate that the mortgage to pay it off, but maybe you don't own a home and you're thinking like, hey, you know what? I want to own a home by next year. Well, hey, we can start here and start growing towards that. Then maybe in your mind you got a business idea. Well, again, whatever your strategy is, we can help you grow towards that. Maybe you're somebody that's got a full-time job right now and you want to retire. You're sick of it. Well, we can help you with that. So again, we have all these strategies, but the key in all this, it's identifying that one that sticks out most to you, and then in time expanding into other strategies. What one attracts me the most is I want to grow to that point where I am debt free and I'm giving back more. Because when you get to some of the higher community levels, like in Lumex, the V3, where the average person right now is earning an extra 18,000, I'm sorry, but I would be paying it forward to as many people as I could every week, because that's really, you pay it back, you're only probably going to get paid back tenfold, in my opinion. So that's the new financial freedom strategy pages. We actually do have some new messaging that we will have very soon. If you need it, you can message me. But we just are finalizing some messaging that will be inside the roadmap. So again, where do I find the roadmap? Where do I go here? If you go into the 10 by 10 block strategy and you click access to the 10 by 10 roadmap, it's all in there. So that's where you would find everything. And that's really your guide, your personal guide to get to where you want to be, because everybody's goals are different. And then you got the launch pad. So if somebody comes in, they don't know, maybe somebody comes in and they're like, hey, I don't have $100. Well, you should start in the launch pad, because we might be able to find some ways to get you there. Let me just thinking of something here. I think we just had a testimonial video here today. So I'm going to grab out of something here. I'm going to show you guys. We've got our first testimonial video today. Thank you, Carmen. So we're going to play this nice little video here. Here's. Oops, sorry. So first of many testimonials there. I don't know if my audio worked, if you could hear that. If you can't, I'm going to have it in the Discord group here. But that's the first of many testimonials. Carmen had saved over $1,000. Now she has extra funds to be able to get in these other digital asset opportunities and let your money work for you. And that's really the goal here, is teaching you that You may be throwing money every single month out the door. And that's what the Launchpad does is let's identify, hey, maybe you're overpaying for bills. Maybe you're overpaying for some of your insurance. Maybe there's other ways that we can help you generate extra cash flow to be able to get in a digit asset and let your money work for you 24/7. And then again, for those that want to join the Legacy Accelerator Collective, if you're interested, you click on that tab and you got to join and get accepted. So that is on Mondays now. Those are Monday calls only for the Legacy Accelerator Collective. Those are for people that want to grow faster and really want to get their goals faster than just waiting for the community to do it. So again, you do have to register for that and get approved because you only get let in the call if you are approved approved on the list. And so that's why we just switched to Fridays now because Fridays are the day of just the drawings. So with that, that's really all I had for today. Like I said, the longevity platform for level 4 that will be introduced next week, just to kind of give you guys a sneak peek on some amazing products that you should be taking every single day. And that's where our goal is. Hey, somebody looks at that and says, wow, I can't afford that every single month. Well, yes, you can. The Legacy Lifestyle is going to show you how. So that's our whole vision is how can we, hey, I take a lot of supplements. I want to live longer. I want to put the right things in my body, but I can't afford it for a whole family to have all my kids on that. But very soon I will be, because that's what we're going to teach people with the Legacy Lifestyle. So with that, we are going to stop the recording for today, and we'll see everybody next Friday again. But before we go, we're going to do the drawing, but we don't record that. So 1 second.